I walked down the dark street, my hands in my pockets. The night air felt cold and wet. I was thinking about work, about bills, about nothing important. Suddenly, I heard a scream. I froze. My heart beat fast. The sound came from an alley to my right. I saw them, 3 men, rough-looking, surrounding a woman. She was small, trembling, trying to push them away. "Hey! Leave her alone!" I shouted, stepping forward. My voice sounded louder than I expected. One of the men turned. His eyes were dark, angry. "Mind your business, stranger," he growled. "I don't care." "Let her go," I said, my hands tightening into fists. The woman's eyes met mine. She looked scared but not weak. Her brown hair fell over her face, wet from the rain. She seemed fragile, but her stare held fire. "Go away," one of them said. "This is none of your concern." I stepped closer. "It's my concern if you hurt her. I will call the police." Another man laughed, cruel and loud. "Police? You're just one man. You think you can stop us?" I swallowed fear, feeling my legs shake. I didn't know if I could stop them, but I couldn't just watch. I said stop. I shouted. The woman suddenly grabbed my arm. "Please, don't get hurt," she whispered. "I won't let them hurt you," I said. My voice was steadier than I felt. One of the men lunged at me. I pushed him back. He stumbled but did not fall. The second man came at me, swinging his fist. I ducked, barely avoiding a hit. The adrenaline made my heart race. "Help me," the woman shouted. Her voice cut through the fear. It gave me strength. I kicked the first man. He fell to the wet ground. I heard a grunt. The second man hesitated. The third looked confused. Maybe they hadn't expected me to fight back. "Run!" I yelled to the woman. She hesitated. Her eyes searched mine. I can't. My bag is here." I grabbed her hand. "Forget it. Go now." I pulled her toward the street. She stumbled but held on to me. The men shouted and started chasing us. We ran fast. My lungs burned. I glanced back. They were following, but slower. I led her into a small cafe, the lights on inside. "Please, wait here," I said, panting. She nodded, her chest rising and falling quickly. Her eyes were wide, wet. She tried to calm herself. "Thank you," she whispered. I leaned against the wall. "Are you okay?" I asked. She shook her head. I think so. You saved me." "Why?" "Why?" "Because I couldn't do nothing," I said. I rubbed my hands over my face. I just couldn't watch." She smiled faintly, a little sad. "I've never met anyone like you." I felt a strange warmth. Pride? Relief? Confusion? I didn't know. She was a stranger, and yet, there was something about her. Something I couldn't explain. "Can you walk?" I asked. "I think so," she said. Her voice was soft, but strong in a strange way. I helped her outside. The rain had slowed to a drizzle. We walked together, silent for a moment. I noticed her eyes again, brown, deep, full of emotion. Fear, but also, something else. Curiosity? Challenge? "You live nearby?" I asked. "No. I don't want to go home tonight," she admitted. "Then, you can stay at my place. Just tonight." I'll call the police in the morning, I said quickly. My words sounded braver than I felt. Her eyebrows lifted. Really? You don't even know me. I know enough. You need help, I said. She hesitated, then nodded slowly. Okay. Thank you. I don't have another choice. We moved quickly. I didn't want to think about what might happen if they returned. My mind raced with fear. But I tried to stay calm, to make her feel safe. The walk to my apartment was tense. Every shadow seemed like someone waiting to attack. I kept my hand near my pocket, near the keys. She walked quietly, shoulders hunched, eyes scanning. You're quiet, I said. I'm scared, she admitted. Her voice trembled. It's okay. You should be, I said. But you're safe now. I don't feel safe, she whispered. I never feel safe. I looked at her. I wanted to say something comforting. Words didn't come. Her fear was real, and I couldn't just erase it. We reached my apartment. I unlocked the door and held it open. After you, I said. She stepped inside. I watched her carefully. She seemed fragile, like a wounded bird. But there was also something else. Strength? Determination? I couldn't tell. Sit down, I said. I'll make tea. She nodded silently. I moved to the kitchen, hands shaking slightly. I boiled water, grabbed tea bags, sugar, and milk. The smell of tea filled the small apartment. I poured the tea and handed her a cup. She held it carefully, like it was precious. I waited. She said nothing, just sipped slowly. Do you want to tell me what happened? I asked gently. She shook her head. No. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, I said. But I need to know. You could be in danger. They might come after you again. She looked at me. I don't know. Maybe. Her honesty was surprising. I wanted to press, to ask more, but I stopped. She was exhausted, scared. I decided to let her rest. You can sleep on the couch, I said. I'll stay up a little. Just in case. Thank you, she whispered. Her voice was soft, barely audible. I watched her settle on the couch. Blanket wrapped around her, knees tucked. I noticed the faint tremble of her hands. My chest tightened. I wanted to protect her. I sat in the armchair across from her, tea in hand. My mind raced. Who was she? Why were those men after her? Why did I feel drawn to her? Something about her stirred feelings I couldn't name. Minutes passed. Silence filled the room. I sipped my tea, eyes on her. She looked small, fragile, yet alive with a quiet fire. I should call the police, I murmured to myself. No, she said suddenly, eyes wide. Please, don't. I froze. Why not? She looked away. I can't, they'll know. My heart skipped a beat. They? Who are they? She shook her head. It's complicated. I'll explain, maybe tomorrow. I wanted to press, but I didn't. I nodded slowly. Something in her tone, her hesitation. I felt unease. Something didn't fit. But I couldn't leave her here, not after tonight. Not after seeing her hurt. I whispered, mostly to myself, I can't walk away. Not now. She looked at me, eyes soft, almost grateful. Thank you. Truly. It's okay. I needed to help, I said, my voice low. We sat there quietly. Rain tapping on the window. I watched her breathe, tried to calm my racing heart. I wondered who she really was. Something told me, this night was only the beginning. My life would not be the same again. I didn't know how, but I sensed danger, mystery, and, maybe trouble. All wrapped in the woman I had saved. I took a deep breath, sipped my tea, and waited. Waiting for what? I didn't know. But something told me, this stranger was more than she seemed. And I was already in too deep. Chapter 2, Secrets Behind Her Eyes. I woke up early the next morning. The sun came slow over the dry hills, soft and red like an old wound. I made coffee on the fire behind my cabin. The smell was warm, but my mind stayed cold. Selena Marquez sat near the door, quiet, her hands wrapped around a tin cup I gave her. She looked small in my old coat, but her eyes were sharp like a knife. I tried not to stare at her, but I failed. Something in those eyes carried a secret, something deep and dark. I said, "Did you sleep well?" She said, "Not really." Her voice was low. I asked, "Bad dreams?" She said, "No. Just, danger." That one word hit me hard. Danger. I felt it too, even before I rescued her from those outlaws in town. But I did not want to admit it. I wanted to feel like a hero, not a fool. I said, "You're safe here." She looked at me. "Are you sure?" Her tone made me pause. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Trust is a fragile thing," she said. That word, trust, felt heavy. I tried to read her face, but she looked away. The wind pushed dust across the yard, and a horse neighed from the stable. She stood up and walked toward the fence. I followed her because something in me felt responsible for her. Or maybe I liked her more than I should. I said, "Why won't you tell me the truth?" She froze. "What truth?" "You know what I mean," I said. "Last night you said those men were after you. But you didn't tell me why." "I don't owe you anything," she said. Her voice turned colder. I said, "I saved your life." She turned around. "And I thanked you." Something inside me cracked. I did not want anger, but it rose anyway. I said, "A lie helps no one out here. People die because of lies." Her jaw tightened. "I never asked you to rescue me." I felt that like a bullet. I walked back toward the cabin, shaking my head. "I just want the truth," I said. She said softly, "Sometimes the truth kills faster than a gun." Her words made no sense then, but they stayed in my mind like a thorn. I tried to calm myself. I fed my horse, brushed the dust off his mane, and checked my rifle. The morning felt too quiet. The kind of quiet that hides a storm. Around noon, I saw someone riding fast from the south trail. A cloud of dust rose behind the horse. I narrowed my eyes. When the rider came closer, I felt my chest relax. It was Maria Santos, my old friend from the town of Redstone. Maria always rode like she was racing death. She jumped off her horse and said, "You fool." I blinked. "Good to see you too. You brought trouble into your home," she said. I looked at Selena. Maria stared at her with open suspicion. "Who is she?" Maria asked. I said, "A woman I saved." Maria laughed. "No woman out here stays alone without a reason." Selena crossed her arms. "Do you always judge strangers?" Maria stepped closer. "Only when they carry danger behind them." I said, "Enough." She needed help. Maria shook her head. "Help? Or are you blind again?" That anger rose in me again. Maria always spoke straight, like a gunshot, but I didn't like her tone. I said, she was attacked. I saw it. Maria said, and you believed everything she said? Selena said, I didn't lie. Maria turned to her. Then tell us who chased you. Selena went silent. Maria looked at me. See? A secret always means trouble. I felt torn. Trust pulled me one way. Doubt pulled me the other. My stomach twisted because both women were right. I said, let's sit inside. Talk calm. Maria said, fine. But I don't trust her. Selena replied, I never asked you to. Inside the cabin, the air felt thick. I poured water for Maria. She slammed it on the table. She said, there are posters in Redstone. A gang robbed 2 wagons last night. People died. I frowned. What does that have to do with her? Maria said, one witness saw a woman with them. Selena stood suddenly. I wasn't part of that. Maria said, prove it. Selena looked at me, not at Maria. Her eyes begged me to believe her. I'm telling the truth, she said to me. I felt heat in my chest. I said, why won't you explain? I need something. Anything. Her voice broke slightly. If I talk, I put you in danger too. Maria scoffed. He is already in danger. I snapped, Maria, stop. Maria said, I'm your friend. I warn you because I care. Selena whispered, friends like that are rare. Maria glared at her. Don't pretend you know anything about friends. The room felt like fire. I had no idea what to believe. My thoughts spun fast. Trust. Lie. Secret. Those words kept circling. Selena whispered, I didn't want to bring this to you. I said, bring what? She took a deep breath. People want something I have. Maria crossed her arms. What? Selena said, I can't say. Maria threw her hands in the air. This is useless. She turned to me. Pack your things. Ride to my ranch. Leave this woman. Selena's face hardened. I don't need him to risk anything. Maria said, you already made him risk everything. I stepped between them. Enough, I said. I will decide. Maria exhaled. Fine. But if something happens, don't say I didn't warn you. She grabbed her hat and walked out. I followed her to the yard. I said, you're wrong this time. Maria said, no. I'm right. I feel it. That woman carries something dark. I said, I made a choice. She shook her head. A bad one. I watched her ride away. Dust swallowed her. My chest felt heavy. Maria was my oldest friend. Losing her trust hurt. But something about Selena pulled me like gravity. Maybe it was danger. Maybe pity. Maybe something stupid. When I walked back inside, Selena sat by the window, staring out at the open land. She said, your friend hates me. I said, she doesn't hate. She fears. Selena whispered, fear makes people cruel. I sat across from her. I said, are you afraid? She said, always. I leaned closer. Of what? She glanced at me. Of people who want what I have. And of people who try to help me. Helping me can kill you. I felt ice in my bones. I said, tell me the truth. Please. She said, not yet. I stood and paced. I can't protect you if I don't know what's going on. She said, I never asked for protection. That doesn't matter, I said. She looked up. Why do you care so much? I had no answer. Maybe I cared because I was lonely. Maybe because I wanted to be more than a man who fixed fences and shoveled dirt. Maybe because her eyes held something broken, and I knew that feeling. Before I could speak, we heard a loud sound outside. A horse. Fast. Then another. Then voices, rough voices. Selena paled. They found me, she whispered. I grabbed my rifle. My heart pounded. I said, get behind me. She said, no. They want me, not you. I said, doesn't matter. We crouched near the door. A man shouted, we know she's in there. Selena grabbed my arm. Don't go out. I said, I won't let them take you. She said, you don't understand. I said, then make me understand. She looked straight into my eyes, her voice shaking. I was one of them, she whispered. A long time ago. But I left. And they want me dead. My world spun. I said, you were an outlaw? She nodded. Not like them. Not anymore. The men outside shouted again. One fired a shot in the air. I whispered, why didn't you tell me? She said, because I wanted someone to see me as more than that. I swallowed. Another shot hit the cabin wall. I said, do you trust me now? She nodded slowly. Yes. Then stay close, I said. The danger was real now. No more secrets. No more lies. Only survival. I pushed the table to the door. She loaded a small pistol. Our eyes met. In that moment, I didn't know if I was saving her or walking into hell beside her. But I knew one thing. The Wild West had no mercy for fools. And I was about to learn which one I was. Chapter 3, Shadows of Betrayal. I stood near the old gate and tried to calm my breath. The night felt heavy. The air smelled like dust and danger. I kept thinking about Selena. I kept thinking about the strange fear in her eyes earlier. Suddenly, I heard footsteps behind me. Why are you here? A voice said. I turned. Carlos Herrera stood there. His smile looked friendly, but something in his eyes felt wrong. I came to check the area, I said. I felt danger. Carlos laughed softly. Danger? From who? I don't know yet, I said. But something feels bad. He walked closer. You never trusted me, did you? I tried, I said. But now? I don't know. Carlos studied my face. Selena told you something, right? I froze for a moment. What do you mean? She always talks too much, he said. She lies. She makes people fear things that are not real. His words pushed something sharp inside my chest. Why are you saying this? Because you should trust me, Carlos said. I want to help you. I stepped back. Help me with what? He sighed. You think Selena is innocent. You think she needs protection. But she hides things from you. I shook my head. No. She told me enough. He smirked. Enough to confuse you, yes. My hands felt cold. I hated the way he spoke about her. Selena is in danger. She said you were part of it. Carlos stared at me. So she lied to you again. I swallowed hard. Are you calling her a liar? I'm telling you she uses people, he said. She used me too. My heart beat faster. What did she do? He shrugged. She told me she trusted me. Then she broke that trust. Something felt strange. Something felt heavy. What do you want from her? I asked. Carlos smiled. Nothing now. I'm done with her. But you are new. You don't know her game yet. I don't believe you, I said quietly. He stepped closer again. You should. Because I know her secrets. I tried to keep my voice steady. Tell me. He shook his head. Not here. Not now. I felt anger rise. Why not? Because you are not ready, he said. You fear the truth. And the truth will break you. I clenched my jaw. Stop playing with me. Carlos raised his hands. Fine. Ask her about the night she ran away. Ask her why she left me behind. Ask her what she stole from me. My chest tightened. Stole? Selena wouldn't. Yes, she would, he said. She did. My mind felt like a storm. Betrayal. Trust. Lies. Fear. Every word hit me at once. You expect me to believe you? I whispered. I expect you to survive, he said. I frowned. Survive what? Carlos leaned closer. She is not the only one watching you. A chill crawled up my spine. Who else? He stepped back again. Someone who doesn't like your curiosity. My hands curled into fists. Stop speaking in circles. Carlos sighed. You still don't get it. You walked into a fire. And now you want to blame the smoke. I took a slow breath. If you know something, tell me. I will, he said. But you must choose. Choose what? He looked straight into my eyes. Choose who you trust. I felt my heart drop. Why are you doing this? Because I don't want your blood on my hands, he said. And because I know how fear tastes. I stepped forward. Do you want to help Selena or hurt her? His face softened for a moment. I wanted to help her once. And now? His eyes turned cold. Now she must pay for her lies. I felt myself shake. You sound dangerous. He smiled. Danger is relative. Stay away from her, I said firmly. That will depend on her, he replied. I pointed at him. If you hurt her. He laughed. Please. You think you can protect her? You don't even know her. Maybe not, I said. But I know you are hiding something. He looked impressed. You learn fast. I need the truth, I said. You need the right truth, he corrected. Not the one she gives you. I exhaled slowly. You called her a liar. But you also lied to me many times before. He nodded. Yes. I did. The honesty shocked me. Then why should I trust you now? Because this time I want you to live, he said. And because I owe you something. I frowned. Owe me what? Time, he said. I will give you time. For what? I asked. For your fear to grow, he whispered. Cold pain ran down my back. You enjoy this, don't you? He tilted his head. I enjoy the truth. And you are not ready. I stepped closer until our faces were only inches apart. Tell me one thing. Are you working with them? Carlos paused. Maybe. My hands shook. So you betrayed me. I warned you, he said. I said trust was a weak door. You used me, I said. He nodded. Yes. And you let me. Those words cut deeper than I expected. You think I'm weak? I asked. No, he said. I think you are in the wrong story. I stared at him. What story is that? A story where love and danger look the same. My heart is not your game, I said. He smiled. Then stop playing. I'm done with you, I said angrily. No, he replied. You're just beginning. Before I could speak again, he stepped back into the darkness. You will see the truth soon, he said. And when you do, remember I tried to help. Then he disappeared behind the gate. I stood alone in the cold night. My breath felt heavy. My mind raced. My trust had cracked again. Carlos left fear in my chest, and Selena left questions in my heart. I whispered to myself, who is lying to me? Who is in danger? And who am I becoming? The shadows gave no answer. Only silence. Chapter 4, The Gang's Grip. I walked down the narrow alley, my heart thumping. Every step made a soft echo against the wet walls. I could smell smoke and something sharp in the air. Fear ran through me. I needed to understand the world Selena lived in. Stay close, she said softly. Her voice was calm, but I sensed danger behind it. Where are we going? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. You'll see, she replied, eyes forward. I could not read her thoughts. She never gave anything away. I followed her through twisting streets. Gang members moved like shadows. They did not greet us, but I felt their eyes. Power radiated from every corner. I realized I was inside a stronghold. My stomach tightened. You're tense, Selena said, noticing me glance at a tall man leaning against the wall. This place, it's dangerous, I said, my voice shaking. How do you survive here? Selena smiled faintly. I know everyone. They know me. That is why I survive. Her calm scared me. She spoke like she controlled the entire city. The thought made me shiver. I had saved her once. Now, I felt tiny and weak. A shadow moved, and a deep voice cut the air. Selena. We stopped. A tall man stepped out from the shadows. He had broad shoulders and sharp eyes. His presence made the alley feel smaller. My fear doubled. Victor Kane, Selena said. She spoke his name like it carried respect and fear. Victor, she said again, soft and firm. He nodded. I felt the tension in the air. He looked at me. And you are? He asked. His voice was smooth but dangerous. I'm the one who helped Selena, I said quickly. My words sounded weak. I knew it. Victor's eyes pierced me. Helping her, huh? Interesting. He smiled. It was not friendly. My stomach churned. Selena put a hand lightly on my arm. He means no harm, she said. Victor raised an eyebrow. No harm, or no knowledge. I don't know anything, I said. I tried to sound confident, but fear leaked through. Selena squeezed my arm. He's with me. Trust him, she said, looking at Victor. Victor nodded slowly. I see. Then he turned and walked away. His power was clear. Every gang member seemed to respect him. I felt small, almost invisible. Selena walked beside me. Victor controls loyalty and fear. Never mix those badly, she said. Why do you trust him? I asked, confused. She paused. Because he knows rules. He knows power. Power can save you or destroy you. I swallowed hard. Her words felt like a warning. My mind flashed back to my past mistakes, times I ignored warning signs. This time, I could not afford errors. Do you always walk through danger like this? I asked. My voice trembled slightly. Selena laughed softly, almost like a whisper. I did not choose this life. But I learned to control it. Her words hit me. I remembered when I thought saving her was simple. I was wrong. Very wrong. Every step here matters, she said. One wrong step, and it is over. I nodded. I wanted to understand, but fear made my thoughts messy. I tried to focus on the alley, the shadows, the people. Survival needed more than courage. I needed knowledge. A young gang member ran past us, carrying a bag of money. He bumped into me. I stumbled. Careful, Selena said. Her eyes were sharp. She caught my shoulder. This world moves fast. Watch everything. I took a deep breath. My heart raced. I realized she had not exaggerated. This was not just a gang. It was a network of power, fear, and rules I could not see yet. Victor appeared again, standing near a doorway. He watched us quietly. I felt the weight of his stare. My mind raced with questions. How much did Selena control? How much did Victor control? Do you always bring outsiders here? Victor asked Selena, his eyes cold. Not always, she said. Her voice remained calm. But sometimes it is necessary. He studied me. Necessary? Selena's eyes met mine. I trust him for now. I swallowed. I had no choice. Trust was dangerous here, but I had to rely on her. Fear mixed with admiration. She was strong, smart, and terrifying. We entered a dim room. Gang members sat around, counting money, talking quietly. My heart thumped louder. I stayed close to Selena. One of the men, Gina, looked at me with suspicion. Who's this? She asked, voice sharp. New friend, Selena said. He helped me. Gina nodded slowly, but her eyes stayed on me. I felt uneasy. I had never been surrounded by people like this. Selena led me to a corner. Sit. Watch. Learn. I obeyed. Every second, I noticed details, the way they moved, the way they spoke, the way they showed respect. I realized I had underestimated Selena. She was not just a survivor. She ruled this world. Victor's voice came from across the room. Rules are simple. Respect power. Fear wisely. Betray, and pay the cost. I shivered. I had never been in a place where rules were life and death. My past life felt distant, useless. Selena leaned closer. Do not show fear, but do not lie to yourself. Survival is not easy. You will learn fast, or you will fail. I nodded silently. My mind raced. I had to understand her world. My feelings for her, my moral compass, everything became secondary to survival. Hours passed. I watched, listened, learned. Every small gesture, every whispered word carried meaning. I realized power here was more than strength, it was knowledge, trust, and control. I caught Victor's gaze again. He studied me silently, measuring, testing. My fear burned inside me. I knew one wrong move could ruin everything. Selena noticed. Do not freeze. Observe. Think. Use your mind. I did my best. I memorized faces, words, movements. I wanted to survive. I wanted to protect her. And I wanted to understand the terrifying power she held. Later, as we left, I asked, why show me all this? She looked at me calmly. Because you saved me. And now, you will need to save yourself. I swallowed hard. My chest tightened. I had entered a world of power, fear, and danger. There was no turning back. I realized I had to think, act, and trust carefully. The night air hit me as we stepped outside. I looked at Selena. She seemed fragile, but I now understood. Fragile was an illusion. She was a leader, a ruler of fear and respect. I whispered to myself, I must learn. I must survive. The shadows of the gang followed us. I felt them in my mind, in my chest. The power they wielded was not just physical, it was psychological. Every glance, every silence carried a threat. I glanced at Selena again. She smiled faintly, almost like she knew my thoughts. Do not be afraid. Fear is useful, but only if you control it, she said. I nodded. I would try. I had no choice. My life, my morality, my very soul, depended on understanding her world. By the time we reached my temporary safe house, exhaustion hit me. My legs trembled. My mind raced. I felt fear and admiration in equal measure. Survival required more than courage. It required understanding power, trust, and danger, all at the same time. I realized something painful. The woman I saved was not just a victim. She ruled a world I barely understood. And to survive, I had to walk carefully inside her shadows. Chapter 5, The Revelation. I never expected this. I stood there, frozen. My hands shook. My heart pounded. Selena, I whispered. She looked at me calmly. Calm. Too calm. Yes, she said softly. It's true. What do you mean? My voice cracked. What's true? She stepped closer. Her eyes were sharp, cold. I am the leader. I blinked. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to run. But I could not. My mind spun. The leader of the gang? I asked. Yes, she said again. I am. And you helped me. You saved me. Do you understand what you did? I shook my head. My stomach twisted. I thought you were in danger. You were right, she said. I was in danger. But not from them. From me. I swallowed hard. My hands tightened into fists. From you? Yes, she said. I am dangerous. And now, you know. I took a step back. My legs trembled. Why didn't you tell me? I shouted. Why lie? I didn't lie, she said quietly. I just didn't tell the truth. There is a difference. I laughed bitterly. Difference? You call hiding the truth a difference? Her lips curved slightly. Yes. A difference. I never asked you to follow me blindly. I clenched my teeth. I didn't follow blindly. I thought I helped someone who needed me. You did, she said. And now you know the real me. I sank to the ground. My hands covered my face. This is insane, I said. I trusted you. You did, she interrupted gently. And that trust is why you are alive. I looked up. Anger burned in me. Alive? You mean I am alive to serve your plans? No, she said firmly. Alive to see the truth. Alive to choose. I laughed again, shaking my head. Choose? Choose what? To join you? To be part of this gang? She shook her head. No. Choose to survive. To act. To decide who you really are. I wanted to scream. I wanted to hit something. But my hands stayed still. My chest heaved. "You're afraid," she said. "I can see it. You always hide behind fear." "I am not afraid of you," I shouted. My voice shook. "I saved you. And now I feel stupid." "You are not stupid," she said softly. "You are brave. Braver than most men I have met." I stared at her. Her face, it was calm. But there was fire in her eyes. Fire I could not touch. How could you lead them?" I whispered. You seemed so helpless." She smiled faintly. "Helpless? I played the part. I needed you to believe it. To test you. To see your heart." I blinked. My head spun. "Test me? My heart? What do you mean?" "I needed to know," she said. "I needed to see if someone could care. Someone could feel. Someone could act. And you," her gaze softened. "You proved it." I stood slowly. My legs felt heavy. "So, I was your experiment?" I asked, my voice low. "No," she said firmly. "You were my choice. Not experiment. Choice. You saved me because it was right. You acted because of your heart. That is rare." I swallowed hard. My anger mixed with confusion. "I saved you, not because I knew who you were." "Yes," she said. "Exactly. That is why I respect you. And that is why I trusted you." I shook my head. "I can't believe this. I helped a gang leader. I helped a criminal." "You helped a human," she said calmly. "Not a criminal. Not yet. You helped me survive my own war." I laughed bitterly. "Survive your war? I nearly got killed because of you." "You could have," she said quietly. "But you didn't. You made a choice. You chose to act." I turned away. My mind raced. "I don't know if I can forgive myself," I muttered. "You don't need to forgive," she said softly. "You need to understand. I am not the enemy you thought. Not yet. But I will be, if I must." I spun around. "If you must? So, what now? What happens to me?" She stepped close. Her eyes locked on mine. "Now, you decide. Do you leave? Do you fight me? Or, do you accept what you saw?" I stared at her. My chest hurt. I wanted to hit her, shout at her, run away. My mind screamed. My heart screamed. My soul screamed. "You don't understand." I shouted. I can't. I can't be part of this. Not your world. "I never asked you to be," she said gently. "But your heart, your actions, already connected you to it. You can't ignore it now." I shook my head. I I need time. I need space. I need to think." She nodded. "Take all the time you want. But remember, the truth never disappears. It waits for you." I looked away. My hands trembled. "The truth," I whispered. "The truth is dangerous." "Yes," she said softly. "And yet, you faced it." I felt my knees weaken. I sank to the ground again. "Why did I help you? Why did I even care?" "Because you are human," she said. "Because your heart is not empty. You wanted to do right. You acted before thinking of yourself. That is rare. That is why you matter." I closed my eyes. My mind replayed every moment. Every word. Every touch. Every fear. every hope, every mistake. I feel betrayed, I whispered. I feel angry. I feel lost. Yes, she said softly. All of it. Feel it. Face it. Do not run. That is the only way to survive. I opened my eyes. Her face was calm. Her eyes were sharp. Her presence was a storm I could not escape. I can't trust you, I said, my voice low. You already do, she said softly. Even now. You saved me. You acted for me. That is trust, whether you admit it or not. I laughed bitterly. I don't know if I can ever admit it. You will, she said. Eventually. Or you will fight me. Either way, our paths are tied now. I stared at her. My hands shook. My chest heaved. My mind spun. Tied, why? Why me? Because you are brave, she said simply. Because you are alive. Because you are human. I closed my eyes again. My heart ached. My hands trembled. My mind raced. My soul screamed. I don't know what to do, I whispered. I don't know who I am anymore. Then find out, she said softly. Find out who you are. That is your real test. I opened my eyes. The street was dark. The wind blew cold. The gang waited silently, unseen. Danger lurked. My heart pounded. My mind spun. My soul shook. I clenched my fists. I won't let this go, I muttered. I will understand. I will survive. I will decide my path. Selena smiled faintly. Calm. Cold. Sharp. Dangerous. Good, she said. That is the only way. I swallowed hard. My stomach twisted. My hands shook. My chest heaved. I had saved her. I had trusted her. I had acted with my heart. And now, everything had changed. I looked at her. Fear. Anger. Confusion. Desire. Every emotion crashed inside me. My mind screamed. My heart pounded. My soul burned. And I knew, nothing would ever be the same again. Chapter 6, Tangled Loyalties. I walked through the dim corridor, my heart beating fast. The air smelled of dust and smoke. Who's there? I whispered. My voice sounded small. I am here, a soft voice answered. I turned. Gina Valdez stepped out from the shadows. Her eyes were wide, nervous. You should not be here, I said, taking a step back. I know, she whispered. But I needed to talk to you. Why? What do you want from me? My hands shook. I wanted answers, but I feared them too. Gina looked down. It's about Selena. My chest tightened. Her name hit me like a punch. What about her? I asked, trying to sound calm. She's not what you think, Gina said, voice low. She has reasons. Painful reasons. I felt anger rising. Painful reasons? She leads a gang. She uses people. Gina's lips trembled. I know, but I think you should know her story. Maybe then you will understand. I clenched my fists. My mind raced. Could I trust her? Loyalty and conflict fought inside me. Go on, I said finally, voice harsh but curious. Gina led me to a small room. A single lamp burned weakly. Shadows flickered across the walls. She sat on a wooden chair. I stayed standing. I saw her when she was a child, Gina began. Her parents, they were cruel. They used her, beat her. She had no one. No home. No hope. I listened. My chest felt heavy. I had wanted to hate her. Yet hearing this, I felt something strange. Empathy. Are you saying she is a victim? I asked, voice low. Not just a victim, Gina said. She chose to survive. She chose power. But she never forgot her pain. I paced. So, all her crimes, they are her way of living? My words felt bitter. Yes, Gina said softly. She protects those who are loyal. She punishes betrayal. But she also cares, in her own way. I shook my head. Cares? She killed people, Gina. She betrayed me. My voice broke. I know, she said quietly. And she will pay for betrayal too. But you need to understand her before you decide what to do. I sank into a chair, rubbing my face. My mind was a storm. Loyalty, revenge, empathy, they all tangled together. I don't know what to do, I whispered. Gina leaned forward. You have a choice. You can fight her. Or you can see the truth. What truth? I snapped. That she is evil? Gina shook her head. That she is human. That she is scared. That she is strong and lonely. I felt a lump in my throat. My hands trembled. I rescued her, I said quietly. I risked everything. And she uses people. Some people, Gina said. Not everyone. You are different. I stared at her. Different? Why? Because you care, she said simply. You see people. Even when they hide. I wanted to deny it. I wanted to shout at her. But deep down, I knew she was right. I always saw more than others did. Why are you telling me this? I asked. My voice barely more than a whisper. Because you need to decide, she said. Your choices will matter. For her. For you. For everyone around you. I closed my eyes. I remembered her smile, the way she looked at me the night I saved her. Vulnerable, yet proud. Dangerous, yet lonely. Gina, I said finally, if I go back to her, can I trust you? She looked at me, her eyes steady. I am loyal to the truth. Not to her. Not to anyone. You can trust me, I promise. I nodded slowly. A decision formed, but my heart still trembled. I wanted revenge. I wanted justice. But I also wanted understanding. I stood. Take me to her, I said. My voice was firm. I need to see her. I need to understand. Gina hesitated, then nodded. Be careful, she whispered. Her loyalty is dangerous. And your choice, it will change everything. I swallowed hard. My chest ached with fear and anticipation. I stepped forward, following her into the deeper shadows. The hallway smelled of damp stone. I felt every step echo in my chest. The walls were close. The darkness pressed on me. What happens if I fail? I asked, voice barely a whisper. Gina looked at me. Then you learn. Then you survive. You always survive. Her words sank deep. I clenched my fists. My mind churned. Revenge and empathy collided inside me. Could I forgive her? Could I act without anger? We reached a heavy door. Gina stopped. Here, she said. This is where she waits. Decide your loyalty carefully. I nodded, heart pounding. My hand hovered over the handle. My mind screamed, I could strike, run, or understand. I took a deep breath. I choose to see the truth, I whispered. My voice was steadier than I felt. Gina nodded. She pushed the door open. Light spilled into the corridor. And there she was. Selena Marquez. Standing tall, confident, with that same strange mixture of vulnerability and danger I had always felt. Her eyes met mine. You came, she said softly. I needed to understand, I said. My voice trembled slightly. I needed to see you, as you are. A small smile touched her lips. Very few want to see me as I am, she said. Most see only the power. The fear. I see more, I said quietly. I see everything. Her gaze softened. Then maybe, you can survive this world with me. I swallowed hard. I did not know what survival would cost. I did not know if I could trust her, or even myself. But I knew this, my life had changed. My choices mattered more than ever. And in that moment, I realized that loyalty was no longer simple. Revenge was no longer certain. Empathy was tangled with fear, and survival was tangled with morality. I stepped forward, meeting her eyes. Then we begin, I said. Selena smiled again, enigmatic and dangerous. Yes, she said. We begin. I felt a strange thrill run through me. The choice was mine. My loyalty, my heart, my survival, all in my hands. The shadows shifted around us. I breathed deeply, feeling the weight of my own decisions. The world outside was uncertain. But here, in this moment, I knew one thing, I was ready to face it. And perhaps, just perhaps, I was ready to understand her. Chapter 7, The Turning Point. I ran down the dark alley. My heart pounded. I could hear voices. Selena's gang moved quickly. I needed to find them before it was too late. I thought of Maria. She was out there, somewhere, in danger. My mind screamed at me. I have to make a choice. Stop. Don't go near them. I shouted. My voice trembled. I knew the fear in my own words. Victor Kane stepped out from the shadows. His eyes were sharp, cold. You really think you can stop us? He said. I clenched my fists. I have to. You're hurting innocent people. I can't let it happen. Victor laughed. Innocent? That word is weak. You're weak. I swallowed hard. My palms were sweaty. My legs shook, but I stepped closer. Maybe I am. But I won't stand by. From behind me, a soft whistle cut the air. I turned. Detective Nolan Hayes appeared. Careful. They have a trap ready for you, he said quietly. I froze. A trap? My voice cracked. What kind of trap? He shook his head. I don't know everything. But if you rush in, people could die. You need courage, yes, but also strategy. I glanced at Selena. She looked calm. Too calm. Her eyes flicked to the side, signaling someone. I realized then, they had set this up for me. My chest tightened. Fear gripped me. I can't fail. Not now. I felt my stomach twist. But then I remembered something my father told me years ago. Courage is acting even when you're afraid. I took a deep breath. Okay, I muttered to myself. I will act. I will save them. Victor Kane stepped forward. You're alone. No one can help you now. I narrowed my eyes. I'm not alone. I have something stronger than fear. Selena's lips curved into a faint smile. I wondered when you would realize it, she said softly. But courage alone isn't enough. I clenched my jaw. Then tell me what is enough. What must I do? Selena said nothing. Only a nod. My stomach sank. She was leading me, guiding me into the trap. Listen, Nolan whispered. They're counting on you to panic. Don't. Think. Move carefully. Decide your choice. My mind raced. I have a choice. Stand against Selena, or save lives and risk my own. I stepped forward. I choose to save them. My voice was firm, stronger than I expected. Victor laughed again. Brave words. Let's see if you can act on them. He snapped his fingers. From the corners of the alley, gang members appeared. Shadows moved quickly. I counted at least 10. My heart hammered. I can't fail. I can't let anyone die. I looked at Maria's face in my memory. I saw her scared eyes. I saw my promise to protect her. That vision gave me clarity. I ran forward. My feet pounded the wet ground. Gang members shouted. I dodged a swing from a metal pipe. Pain shot up my arm, but I didn't stop. Selena's voice called out. Remember your choice. Every second matters. I kept moving. I saw Gina Valdez trapped near a crate. She froze, fear in her eyes. Gina. Listen to me. I shouted. She hesitated, then nodded. I grabbed her hand. We moved together. I pulled her toward the exit. A shot rang out, ricocheting near my feet. My ears rang. My chest heaved. Faster. I yelled. Courage. Move faster. Victor Kane blocked our path. I froze for a second. He looked ready to strike. I looked around. I saw a weak spot, a stack of barrels near the wall. I grabbed Gina. Follow me. I pushed the barrels. They toppled, hitting 2 gang members. I felt the weight of their bodies, but there was no time to think. Selena's voice was near. I warned you. Choices have consequences. I gritted my teeth. I accept that. I ran. My legs burned. Gunshots and shouts followed. My mind raced. I must think. I must act. I must protect them. A sudden movement caught my eye. A small boy ran into the alley, crying. My heart stopped. No! I screamed. I dove forward, pushing him behind a wall. Bullets whizzed past. My arms scraped against bricks. Pain shot through me, but I didn't care. I held the boy tight. Are you okay? I asked. My voice shook. He nodded, tears rolling down his cheeks. I looked around. The gang surrounded us. Selena stepped closer. This is it. Your courage, will it save them? I met her gaze. I will do everything I can. I have to. Victor Kane lunged at me. I twisted, blocking his swing with a pipe I grabbed. Pain burned my shoulder, but I moved. My mind was clear. I was no longer naive. I was calculating. I kicked another gang member, forcing him back. I saw a path near the crates. I grabbed the boy and Gina. This way. Hurry. Selena's voice echoed. Think carefully. Every choice has cost. I didn't answer. I didn't have time. My heart raced. My legs carried us faster than I imagined possible. I reached a corner. I peeked. Gang members blocked the alley exit. My mind raced. Choice. Courage. Strategy. I remembered what Nolan said, don't panic. I whispered to Gina and the boy, stay close. Trust me. I grabbed a metal chain hanging from the wall. I swung across a small gap. I landed on the other side. The boy stumbled, but I caught him. Gina followed. We ran toward the main street. I looked back. Selena's face was tense. Her calm smile gone. I realized then something important. I am no longer just running. I am leading. We reached the street. Cars passed by, unaware. I hid in the shadows. My chest heaved. Pain radiated in my arm and shoulder. But I had made it. Detective Nolan Hayes appeared beside us. You did well. Most would panic. You didn't. I shook my head. It was fear and courage mixed together. I almost failed. But I chose. I had to. He nodded. Good. Choices matter. Lives depend on them. I looked at Gina. Are you okay? She nodded. Thanks to you. I am. I felt a strange pride. But also fear. Selena was still out there. She had planned every move. I knew the battle wasn't over. I felt the boy tug at my hand. Mister, you saved me, he whispered. I smiled faintly. I did. But we all need courage. Even me. Nolan looked at me. This is just the beginning. Their trap was only one step. I clenched my fists. Then I will face every step. Every choice. I won't let fear win again. Selena's words echoed in my mind, every choice has consequences. I thought about all I had lost. All I could lose. But I also thought about what I could save. I whispered to myself, I will make the right choice. No matter what. The night was quiet now. Too quiet. But I felt ready. The turning point had come. I had acted. I had chosen. And I would face whatever came next. Chapter 8, Collision of Fates. I walked into the abandoned warehouse with my heart pounding. Shadows stretched across the walls. I knew she was here. Selena. My mind raced. What will I say? What will I do? She waited, I said softly, stepping closer. My voice cracked. Selena looked at me, calm as ever. I knew you would come, she said. Her eyes glinted in the dim light. You always do. I clenched my fists. Why, Selena? Why all this? I saved you. She smiled, cold but sad. Saved me? Or saved yourself from guilt? I shook my head. I don't understand. I thought you were in danger. I thought I could help you. You helped me, she whispered. More than you know. But help comes with a price. My chest tightened. I stepped closer, anger mixing with hurt. Price? You lied. You lied to me every day. Her gaze softened for a moment. I didn't lie. I survived. I froze. Her words hit me like a punch. Survive? You call this survival? People died, Selena. She didn't answer immediately. I noticed a broken letter on the floor. My hand shook as I picked it up. It was torn. I recognized my handwriting. You'll be safe. Trust me. She saw it. I kept it, she said. Her voice barely a whisper. I wanted to believe you. I dropped the letter. My anger burned hotter. Believe me? Or believe your lies? I had no choice, she said. Tears glimmered in her eyes. I did what I had to do. I took a step back. I hated her and wanted to hug her at the same time. Do you know what you did to me? To everyone? Yes, she said simply. I know. And I regret some things. Not all. Some were necessary. I laughed bitterly. Necessary? You call betrayal necessary? I call survival necessary, she replied. Do you call your choices better? You trust, you save, you believe. Look where it got you. I glared at her. My mind flashed to Carlos, Victor, and the gang. All the chaos, all the pain. She caused it. Yet, something in her voice made me pause. I couldn't hate her completely. Why show me this? I asked. My voice was low. Why not hide it all? Keep me safe from knowing? Because you deserve to know, she said. You always deserve to know the truth. I wanted to speak, but the words got stuck. My throat tightened. My hands shook. Truth. What am I supposed to do now? Forgive? Run? Fight? Choose, she said. It's your choice. I swallowed hard. My mind spun. Choices. I had never felt so powerless. My hands trembled, yet my legs moved forward. I choose to stop you, I said. Selena's eyes widened, then narrowed. Stop me? You? You think you can? I have to try, I whispered. I can't let more people die. She tilted her head, studying me. You always were stubborn, she said softly. That stubbornness might save you. Or destroy you. I noticed movement behind her. A woman stepped from the shadows. Elena Marquez. Selena's sister. I froze. Elena? She looked at me with weary eyes. You shouldn't be here, she said quietly. It's dangerous. I need to stop her, I said, nodding toward Selena. I can't let this continue. Elena shook her head. It's not that simple. You don't understand everything yet. I clenched my fists. Try me. Selena stepped closer to Elena. He understands enough, she said. He feels enough. That is why he is dangerous. I felt rage boil in me. Dangerous? I'm trying to save lives. You hurt everyone. She flinched at my words, almost like she expected them. I hurt to protect, she said. Do you understand that? I wanted to scream. Protect? You call betrayal, death, fear protection? Yes, she whispered. Some things you must do alone. Some things, only I could do. I froze. Her words struck me deep. Alone. Only she could. A pang of empathy and anger hit me at the same time. I felt dizzy. Elena stepped closer. He feels too much, she said quietly. But maybe that is what will stop her. I turned back to Selena. Tell me. Tell me why. Tell me everything. I deserve it. She looked at me, eyes glistening. Do you want the truth, or do you want a reason to hate me? I clenched my teeth. Both. I want both. She sighed and began speaking. Her voice low, deliberate. I grew up in a world that broke me. My parents, they left nothing but debt, pain, shame. I had to fight. I had to survive. No one helped me. No one cared. I made choices. Hard ones. Terrible ones. But I survived. I listened, stunned. My anger mingled with a strange understanding. You are broken too. I whispered. Yes, she said. And you saved me, yet you also trapped me. Every act of kindness is a chain. I cannot forget it, cannot forgive it. Not fully. I shook my head. You trapped me too. I thought I was the hero. I thought I made the right choice. Now, everything is chaos. She stepped forward slowly. Chaos is life, she said softly. You choose to fight it, or you choose to drown in it. I glanced at the broken letter in my hand. My eyes blurred. I don't know if I can forgive you, I whispered. Selena shook her head. You don't have to forgive me. You only have to live with your choice. I swallowed hard. My hands felt heavy. My mind raced. My chest burned. Every choice I made had led here. And yet, I felt clarity. Rage, fear, and love collided inside me. I choose, I said finally. I choose to stop this. I cannot let more die. Not because of you, not because of anyone. Selena's eyes glimmered. And I choose to let you try, she whispered. I took a deep breath. Every step I made felt like walking on fire. My mind was a storm. I knew what I had to do. Elena moved slightly to the side. Be careful, she whispered. He will not forgive easily, but he can see truth. I nodded at her. My eyes returned to Selena. This ends tonight, I said. She smiled faintly. Yes, tonight. I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. The warehouse seemed smaller, the shadows longer. Every sound felt louder. My own heartbeat pounded in my ears. I had never felt fear and determination so sharply at the same time. Do you remember the letter? I asked suddenly. The one I wrote? Selena nodded. I kept it. I wanted to believe in you. My chest tightened. I meant it. Every word. But I see now, words can't save everyone. She looked down. No, they can't. But they can change someone. Maybe even you. I clenched my fists again. My heart ached, my mind screamed, but I knew what I had to do. I had to face her. Fully. Every truth, every lie, every choice. Then we fight, I said. Every last choice, every last truth. End this. She nodded. Yes. End this. And then, we moved. Forward, together and apart. Fear and courage danced inside me. Rage, regret, and something like understanding. Every step was a decision. Every breath a choice. I felt the weight of my actions, the weight of hers. And I knew, tonight, fate would decide. The warehouse was silent, except for our footsteps. Shadows clung to the walls like memories. I glanced at her, then at Elena, and then back at the broken letter. The past, the present, and the future collided. I gritted my teeth. This ends tonight. Selena's eyes met mine. Yes, tonight, she whispered again. And I knew nothing would ever be the same. Chapter 9, Downfall and Karma. I watched from the shadows as chaos swallowed the gang's hideout. My heart raced. I could feel the tension in my chest. Every sound was sharp, every movement alive. I knew karma had arrived. Go. I whispered to myself. This is it. The first scream cut through the night. It was sharp and panicked. Victor Kane stumbled out of a side door. He looked terrified. I had seen him confident, almost untouchable. Now he was shaking. Stop. Wait. I yelled from behind a wall. It's over. Victor froze. His eyes darted everywhere. You don't understand, he shouted. Understand what? I said, stepping closer. Justice comes to everyone. I could see him gulp, his hands trembling. I remembered our past fights, the way he threatened me. But now he was small. Weak. The same weak I had seen in Selena's victims. Then I heard Selena's voice. Clear. Calm. Deadly. Victor, you failed me. I felt my stomach twist. Even after all the crimes, she sounded like a queen. I clenched my fists. My hands shook. I wanted to hate her. I did hate her. But I also understood her in a strange way. Victor fell to his knees. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I swear. I stepped closer. Sorry doesn't fix anything, Victor. Selena laughed softly. It was cruel, but not empty. He had choices. He chose wrong, she said. I remembered all the warnings I had ignored. The letters, the whispers, the threats. I had ignored them to protect her. Now I understood. Protection had limits. Karma had limits, too. The gang's empire was falling apart. I watched Gina Valdez run from the main hall. Tears streamed down her face. I can't do this anymore, she shouted. I felt my chest tighten. I knew her struggle. She wanted freedom, but she feared betrayal. I wanted to help her, but I could not. I needed to survive too. Go. Run. I yelled. Take the chance. She looked at me. For a moment, I saw hope. Then she turned and disappeared into the night. I felt strange. Relief mixed with sadness. Every action had consequences. Every choice had a price. Karma was not silent. It was loud, brutal, and fair. Inside the hideout, Selena faced the remaining gang members. I stepped closer, hiding behind debris. I could hear their fear. I could feel it. You betrayed me, Selena said. Her voice was low, calm. And now, you will pay. One by one, they fell. I could not see all, but I could hear the chaos. Screams, breaking glass, running footsteps. Justice, raw and untamed. I remembered my own mistakes. My failures. I had been blind to the signs, blind to my own limits. I thought courage alone could save me. But courage without wisdom was weak. I clenched my fists. I won't make that mistake again, I whispered. I need strength, emotional strength, more than physical. A sudden crash shook the building. Dust filled my lungs. I coughed. My eyes watered. I pressed against the wall and waited. I needed to move carefully. Every step mattered. Selena's laughter echoed through the halls. I shivered. Even in destruction, she was terrifying. But I noticed something. Her expression was softer now. Less cruel. I wondered why. I remembered our first meeting. Her eyes, so mysterious. Her smile, so fragile. And now, even in chaos, there was a trace of the girl I first saw. I took a deep breath. Karma is not just revenge, I said to myself. It is truth. It is balance. A shadow moved across the broken floor. Carlos Herrera crawled toward me, his face pale. He had been loyal, at least once. Now, he was just another victim of choices. I didn't mean, he gasped. Save your words, I said. Your actions speak louder than any lies. He nodded weakly. I understand, now. I stepped back, letting him disappear into Selena's wrath. I had no more energy for hate. I needed clarity. I needed reflection. Selena appeared then, in the center of the hall. She was calm. Terrible. Magnificent. I could feel her power, but also her weariness. She had carried this empire too long. I did what I had to do, she said softly. And now, it ends. I felt a strange respect for her. Not forgiveness. Not love. Respect. She had survived, ruled, and now faced the consequences herself. Karma had visited everyone. I stepped into the open, hands slightly raised. It's over, I said. Selena's eyes met mine. For a moment, there was recognition. Something unspoken passed between us. Then she turned and walked away, disappearing into the smoke and rubble. I stood alone. My body ached. My heart ached more. I felt grief. Grief for what was lost. Grief for what we had become. But I also felt strength. Strength not from fighting, not from weapons, but from understanding. From surviving. From facing the truth. I remembered Father Antonio's words, strength comes from choice. Not action. I nodded to myself. Yes. I had chosen. I had survived. I had learned. The night was silent now. Only the wind whispered through broken windows. I walked through the wreckage, stepping over debris. Every step reminded me of lessons learned. Karma had spoken. Justice had been served. Downfall had its place. I thought of Maria. I needed to tell her the truth. Not all of it. Not everything. But enough to explain the weight I carried. I took a deep breath. My hands were covered in dust. My clothes were torn. My face was pale. But I felt alive. Alive, because I had faced the storm. Alive, because I had seen justice in motion. Alive, because I had survived emotionally, even when the body almost failed. I paused at the threshold of the hideout. One last glance at what had been an empire. A kingdom of lies and fear. Now crumbled. Now empty. Now, truthful. I whispered again, barely audible, Karma, you are harsh, yet fair. Then I turned away. I could hear distant sirens approaching. I could see the first signs of daylight breaking through smoke. I walked. Step by step. The weight in my chest remained, but it felt lighter. I had faced betrayal, chaos, and fear. I had learned grief. I had embraced strength. And I knew this, survival was more than living. Survival was understanding. Surviving was choosing to grow, even when the world had tried to destroy me. I looked at my hands. Dust and blood mingled. Symbols of the night's truth. Symbols of karma's reach. I whispered once more, justice has its place. And so does forgiveness, even if only for myself. I took another step forward. The sun rose. The night ended. The empire fell. And I survived. Chapter 10, Resolution and Reflection. I sat alone on the old wooden bench. My hands shook. The city was quiet. I could hear my own breathing. The fight was over. The gang was gone. Selena was gone too. I felt empty. Are you okay? Maria's voice broke my thoughts. She stepped lightly beside me. Her eyes were soft, worried. I think so, I said, my voice low. It feels strange. Everything is over, but, I trailed off. I did not know what to say. But, she asked. I don't know if I feel relief. Or guilt, I admitted. My fingers twisted in my lap. Selena, she's gone. I did what I could, but, I looked away. I saved people, but she. I wonder if I understand her. Maria sat close. She did not touch me, but I felt her presence like a shield. You did your best. That matters. You survived. You helped. I did survive, I whispered. But I feel changed. I feel smaller, heavier. My chest hurt. I thought I was ready. But facing her, facing everything, it broke me. She nodded slowly. You grew. Courage isn't not being scared. Courage is moving forward, even when scared. I stared at the gray clouds above. I keep thinking about her face, Maria. Selena. I saved her once. I trusted her. And then I learned the truth. She was a leader, not a victim. I loved her in a way. And she betrayed everything. Maria said nothing. She waited. That silence made me speak. I wonder if she ever felt guilty. Did she regret? Did she ever care for me? Or was it just the game for her? I don't know, Maria said softly. Maybe. Maybe not. But your choices mattered. You acted with courage. You protected people. I shook my head. I still think about what could have happened if I acted differently. If I fought harder. If I saved her in another way. Life gives choices. And I feel like I made so many wrong ones. Maria placed a hand lightly on my shoulder. I don't see them as wrong. You lived. You survived. You learned. I laughed quietly. Survived, that's the word. Survivor. That feels cold. I feel like a survivor in someone else's story. Someone I don't even understand. Maria tilted her head. Then write your story. Make it yours. Live, don't just survive. I closed my eyes. I could hear Father Antonio's voice in my mind. Life is not about avoiding pain. It is about facing it. And choosing who you want to be afterward. I remembered his small office, the warm smell of books, the soft light that always made me calm. I remembered when I first told him about Selena. He had said nothing at first. Then quietly, you have courage. But courage without reflection can break a man. I opened my eyes. I was reflecting now. Everything that happened was in my mind. I could replay every moment. The fight. The betrayals. The lives I could not save. The people I helped. Every choice. Every consequence. Do you ever think about them? I asked Maria. All the people, the gang, the victims, Selena. Do they haunt you? She shook her head. I think about choices. Not ghosts. You can't carry everyone's mistakes. I looked at her. But I feel like I have to. Every action matters. Every life matters. Every decision I made changed someone's life. Maria smiled faintly. Yes. But that is life. Reflection is for understanding. Closure is for moving on. And courage is what you already have. I took a deep breath. Reflection. Closure. Courage. Words that sounded soft, but heavy. I had lived through fear, through betrayal, through loss. I had survived. I had learned. I thought about Selena one last time. Her eyes, sharp and intelligent. Her smile, dangerous but genuine in its own way. I did not forgive her. I did not hate her. I simply let her be gone. That was the closure I could give myself. I feel like I am ready to live again, I said quietly. But life feels fragile. Every choice feels heavy now. Every smile, every word, every action. I see it differently. Maria's hand rested over mine. That's the survivor speaking. That's the man who faced betrayal and tragedy and came out alive. That's life. And yes, it's fragile. But fragile can also be beautiful. I nodded. I closed my eyes. My heart was heavy, but calmer. I could feel my pulse, steady now. Life still had color. Life still had sound. And I could choose how to move forward. You were brave, Maria said. I saw you fight, and I saw you care. That courage will never leave you. I hope so, I murmured. I hope this courage stays when I am alone, when fear comes back, when everything feels impossible. You will be fine, she said. You are a survivor. I thought of the people I saved. The friends I kept. The lives I touched. I thought of the people I lost. The mistakes I made. The love I gave and lost. I felt the weight of all of it. And yet, somehow, I felt alive. I remembered the street where I first saw Selena. The fear in her eyes. The danger around us. I had jumped in without thinking. That courage had changed my life forever. That act, small as it seemed, had set all these events in motion. Now, I had reflection. I had closure. And I had courage. I could face what was left of life. I could make choices with care, knowing the cost. You okay now? Maria asked again. I smiled faintly. Yes. I think. I am. Life will be hard. But I will live it. I will make it mine. Survivor, reflection, courage, that is me now. She nodded. Good. That is enough. For today, at least. I looked at the skyline. The city was quiet, but the wind carried a soft promise. A promise that life continues. That we move forward. That we survive. I thought of Father Antonio again. The moral courage, he had said. It is more important than physical strength. It is the strength of life itself. I felt that now. The moral courage to live, to reflect, to forgive, even myself. I took a deep breath. The weight of my past did not vanish. But it was lighter now. I could carry it. I could move. I could love again. I could face life with open eyes, not just as a survivor, but as someone changed by experience. I remembered Maria's smile. I remembered her hand on mine. I remembered every lesson learned, every fear faced, every risk taken. I whispered quietly, I am alive. I am here. I am, me. I stood slowly. My legs stiff, my body tired. But my heart felt steadier. I walked forward. The city opened before me. Life waited. I walked into it with reflection, closure, and courage. I remembered Selena once more. And I let go. Not with hate. Not with sorrow. But with understanding. I could not control her choices, her fate, her life. I could only control mine. And I chose life. I walked past the street where it all began. The wind carried a faint scent of rain. The benches, the lamps, the empty streets, they all whispered the past. I let them whisper. I did not stop. I did not look back. I reached the small chapel where Father Antonio waited. His face was kind, his eyes gentle. He nodded once. I nodded back. That silent moment said more than words could. Reflection, closure, courage, they were mine. I walked out into the light. The world was bright now, even if it hurt my eyes. I could see colors again. I could hear sounds again. Life called me forward. And I moved. I did not run. I did not flee. I walked steadily, knowing I was changed. Knowing I had survived. Knowing I had courage. Knowing that life, my life, was mine to live. No regrets. Only lessons. No hate. Only understanding. No fear. Only courage. And I would carry this forever. I was alive. I had survived. I had learned. And I would continue. Life awaited. I stepped forward, into it fully.